Painting the inside of a trunk without having it sandblasted can be a tough job. So today we're going to take a look at a few tools that can make that job a lot easier. To start with, we use this needle scaler to knock off all the heavy rust and chunks. Then we use these grinders or sanders with a 24 grit fiber resin disc on them to knock down the rust and the old paint. This grinder has common threads on it, and you can use one of these cup brushes that are impregnated with 80 grit, and one of these guys wire brushes that has those same threads to get any of the deep grooves. For the detail work, you can use a die grinder like this with a little cup brush on it, one like this with a cutoff wheel, and this is a 16th inch cutoff wheel from Harbor Freight, or a die grinder like this with various bits. These are called burr bits. Also for the detail work, you can use a drill with various brushes to get into the corners and the cracks. This is a brush from Harbor Freight. It's impregnated with 80 grit, and it's a nylon abrasive wheel. Finally, you'll want to DA sand the paint and all the rough areas with 120 grit, and then moving on to 220 or 240. And to make sure you got absolutely everything, you can finish up with a red scuff pad. You can sandblast it, but the trunk fills up with sand pretty quick. But this does take care of some tiny spots that you can't get with any other tool. After working with those tools, we vacuumed it, wiped it down with wax and grease remover, hit it with a coat of Bulldog adhesion promoter to make sure everything sticks, gave it 2 coats of epoxy primer, a couple coats of Restoration Shop urethane base coat from TCP Global, and finally a couple coats of clear. After installing a new trunk mat, I think it'll look just fine. I hope you enjoyed this short video on what it takes to paint the inside of a trunk. If you did, and you'd like to get my latest videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.